Good day, guys. So today we will be talking about Filipino traits and characteristics. Every country has its differing values and stereotypes, and the Philippines is no exception. We Filipinos firmly believe that our country has the best values and traits in the world. The positive traits. The first positive traits is faith in God. We may have different religions in different sectors of our country, but what is consistent is that we all have one strong form of faith. So some individuals blame religion for the Philippines' poverty. What they don't realize is that the Filipinos' great trust in God is what keeps them going during difficult times. They understand that God does not put them through hardships that are too difficult for them to overcome. Even while many Filipinos live in poverty, this commitment also translates to being compassionate, modest, and generous. Filipinos serve as choir members, readers, and other religious duties in numerous overseas locations. This faith also reflects into generosity and a modest demeanor. The second trait is close family ties. We enjoy the feeling of having and knowing family members are around us. Filipino families cling to one another for more reasons than only economic reasons. Two or more families sharing a roof is popular in the Philippines, not only to divide household expenditures and so save a little money, but also to ensure that the family remains intact. Next is respectful. From the manu to saying po and opo to our elders, these words that are part of our language show how we respect people. In the Philippines, it is customary to respect one's older. Yes, it is one of our traits, and when a Filipino youngsters meet an older relative, he or she welcomes them with a gesture known as manu po, which involves taking the elder's hand and placing it on the youth's own forehead, welcoming to visitors. When we have people visit our homes, we always welcome them with smiles, conversation, and food. The way the Filipinos treat their visitors with kindness and respect is part of their culture. This is the best demonstrated by greeting guests and allowing them to enter their houses as soon as they arrive. Like they say, tuloy ka or tuloy kayo is a Filipino greeting that expresses warmth and hospitality towards guests. Tuloy means to continue or to enter. Thus, the idioms tuloy ka or tuloy kayo or please come in may be defined as you may come in or please come in this context. Obedient and dutiful. In our culture, we always respect and follow what our parents and adults advise us to do. So Filipinos always acknowledge those that are in authority or someone superior to them. Even inside the family, children can be found obediently following their parents' instructions. Next trait is helpful. It is expected that we help out in the house and offer help to siblings, friends, and relatives when we can. Whenever someone needs someone else's aid, Filipinos are always ready to give a hand to that person. One great example of Filipino custom portraying helpfulness is the act of bayanihan, diligent and patient. Majority of our livelihood in the Philippines is based on agriculture. It takes a lot of back-breaking work to plant the fields. Because of the situation of our country, agriculture as one of the primary sources of living has contributed to the traits of Filipinos. Next positive trait is resourceful and creative. During the times when we don't have the means to accomplish something, we find ingenious ways of using what we have to solve our problems. Being dubbed a third world country, Filipinos have learned to adapt to their conditions. Consequently, they learn the practice of improvising things by recycling trash for useful things. Next trait is Filipinos being cheerful. Because we've been through a lot of traits in our history, Filipinos have learned not to be depressed. And Filipinos often find themselves in a struggle to survive for a day. In response to this, they tend to cheer themselves up and just laugh their problems off. Negative trait. The first negative trait is ningas kukul. There is a tendency for Filipino people to show eagerness on the start of the way but lacks of it as the work progresses. Next negative trait is mañana habit. Perhaps this is one of the reasons why Philippines is still underdeveloped country. Filipinos often put off doing things until it is too late. Next trait is crab mentality. Another dark side of Filipino traits is how insecure we could get to somebody who is on his or her way to success that we find a way to pull that person back down rather than striving to be better. The fourth negative trait is colonial mentality. We perceive the Filipino-made products as inferior to what imported products offer us. If something is made in America or of a foreign brand, we think it is of greater quality. So we buy foreign products more than we buy locally made products. The next trait is bahala na. When helpless, we tend not to act to solve our problems. We usually don't plan ahead or plan for contingencies. When cornered to a situation that seems to remain unsolved, we often let the fate dictate on whatever will happen. The lack of discipline. The Filipinos' lack of discipline encompasses several related characteristics. We have a casual and relaxed attitude towards time and space, which manifests itself in lack of precision and compulsiveness, in poor time management, and in procrastination. Next negative trait is the sore losers. Many times, Filipinos became very competitive and hate losing. At times, when we lose, we find a way to get even. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe and like and comment.